Have you ever noticed how a single thought can pull you into a storm? One moment, you're at peace. The next, your mind is spinning with what-ifs, regrets, fears, and expectations. The truth is, most of our suffering doesn't come from the world. It comes from the way we think about the world. But here's the secret. Your mind is not your enemy. It's a wild horse waiting to be trained. And once you master it, nothing, no person, no failure, no situation can shake your peace. Monks don't walk through fire because they're fearless. They walk through it because their minds are silent. They've learned the art of focus, the strength of stillness, the calm that doesn't waver no matter what the world does around them. And now, you're about to enter that same space of clarity. Not by running away from life, but by learning how to meet it with a mind that no longer trembles. 1. Your mind is the root. Calm it, and life follows. In Buddhism, everything begins with the mind. It's not just one part of who you are, it defines who you are. Your thoughts shape your emotions shape your actions, and your actions shape your life. The Buddha once said, "All that we are is the result of what we have thought." This means your reality is born from your mindset. If your thoughts are filled with worry, fear, or anger, your life will feel like a constant storm. But if your thoughts are grounded in peace, patience, and awareness, life becomes easier, even when things go wrong. Have you ever noticed how two people can go through the same difficult situation, yet one stays calm while the other falls apart? The difference is not what happened, it's how the mind responds. A restless mind will make small problems feel huge. It will exaggerate danger, create confusion, and keep you stuck in fear. But a calm mind can handle even the toughest situations with grace. When your inner world is still, the chaos of the outside world loses its power over you. That's why Buddhists don't try to control everything around them. They don't chase perfection in the world. They build peace within themselves. You cannot stop the waves of life, but you can learn how to surf. You can train your mind to respond wisely instead of reacting emotionally. The first step is awareness. Pause, breathe, feel your feet on the ground. Listen to your breath. These simple acts bring you back to the present moment where your power lives. Not in the future you worry about, not in the past you regret, but right here, right now. When you realize that you are not your thoughts, but the observer of those thoughts, you take back control. You stop letting your mind drag you into stories that don't serve you. You start choosing peace over panic, stillness over struggle. So don't spend your life trying to fix everything around you. Fix what's inside. Train your mind daily, just like you would train your body. With time and consistency, your inner calm will become unshakable. And when your mind is calm, life follows. Even when there's noise outside, there's silence within. And that silence is your superpower. 2. Let go of what you can't control. One of the deepest sources of suffering in life comes from trying to control things that are simply not within our power. You try to control how others behave. You try to control the future. You stress over things that haven't even happened yet, or may never happen at all. And while your intentions may come from a place of care, this constant desire to manage every outcome leads to exhaustion, anxiety, and inner chaos. Buddhism teaches a core truth: impermanence. Everything in life changes. People come and go. Circumstances rise and fall. Even your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs, they shift like the clouds in the sky. So when you cling to something as if it's permanent, you suffer. When you expect life to stay exactly the way you want it, you create unnecessary pain for yourself. You see, worry is often a sign that you're trying to grip life too tightly. It's your mind's way of saying, "I don't feel safe unless I'm in control." But the truth is, you never had full control to begin with. You can't control how someone feels about you. You can't control the outcome of every decision. You can't even fully control your own thoughts without awareness and training. What you can control is your reaction, your attitude, your inner balance. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean becoming passive or careless. It means you stop trying to force life to match your expectations, and instead, you begin to flow with it. You learn to trust the rhythm of things. You plant your efforts, but release your grip on the outcome. Ask yourself this powerful question: is this within my control? If the answer is no, breathe and let it go. If the answer is yes, focus on what you can do, and then let the rest unfold. Imagine holding a rope that's burning your hand. The longer you hold on, the more it hurts. But the moment you let go, the pain begins to heal. That's what happens when you release control over things that were never yours to manage. In Buddhism, peace is not about fixing the external. It's about dissolving attachment to it. So if someone wrongs you, let go of the need for revenge. If plans change, let go of the need for certainty. If life surprises you, let go of resistance. Because on the other side of letting go is freedom. And in that freedom, you'll find what worry could never give you: clarity, calm, and deep inner peace. 3. Practice presence. Most of the suffering in your life doesn't come from the present moment. It comes from your mind wandering away from it. You worry about what might go wrong tomorrow. You replay things you wish you could change from yesterday. And in doing so, you miss the only place where peace can truly exist: right now. Buddhism teaches that the present moment is the only reality. The past is gone. The future hasn't arrived. The only time you can breathe, act, think, grow, or feel is now. But because our minds are constantly distracted, jumping from thought to thought like a restless monkey, we rarely experience this moment fully. Think about how often you eat while scrolling on your phone, walk without noticing the ground beneath your feet, or listen to someone speak while already planning your response. We're physically present, but mentally elsewhere. This disconnection creates anxiety, tension, and a feeling that life is always slipping through our fingers. When you learn to anchor your awareness in the present, something shifts. You stop resisting life, and you start experiencing it. You begin to notice the taste of your food, the warmth of the sun, the sound of the breeze, the way your breath rises and falls. Even ordinary moments become beautiful when you're fully there to witness them. Presence is not about making the moment perfect. It's about being awake to it as it is. If you're sad, be present with the sadness. If you're joyful, savor that joy. If you're in pain, bring your attention gently to that pain, without judgment. The goal is not to escape the moment, but to enter it more deeply. Mindfulness meditation is one way Buddhists cultivate this presence, but you don't need a cushion or a quiet room to practice. Every moment is an opportunity. Washing the dishes can become a meditation. Walking to your car, drinking tea, breathing. The key is awareness, bringing your full attention to what is. And here's the secret. The present moment is rarely as overwhelming as your thoughts about it. When you stop imagining all the what-ifs and regrets, you'll find that this moment, just as it is manageable, even peaceful. When your mind stays in the now, it stops chasing problems that haven't happened and grieving things that no longer exist. You become grounded, steady, unshakable. So slow down, breathe, come back to where your life is actually happening, not in the mind, but in this breath, this step, this heartbeat, because this moment is your life. And when you give it your full attention, it gives you peace in return. 4. Observe. Don't absorb. Detach from the drama. One of the greatest skills you can ever develop for inner peace is the ability to observe without absorbing. In Buddhism, the mind is often compared to a clear lake. Every thought, emotion, or situation that enters it is like a ripple on the surface. But the lake itself, its essence, remains still and unshaken at its depth. The problem is, most of us never learn how to simply watch the ripples. We jump into them, identify with them, and let them carry us away. Every day life throws noise at you. Someone says something rude, you get a disappointing message, plans fall apart, and instantly your mind reacts. Why did this happen? What did they mean by that? I'm angry, I'm hurt, I'm offended. Without realizing it, you become the thought, you become the emotion. You absorb it, carry it, and suffer under its weight. But what if you didn't have to? Buddhism teaches you that you are not your thoughts. You are not your emotions. You are the awareness behind them. Just because a thought appears in your mind doesn't make it true. Just because you feel angry doesn't mean you need to act on it. You can witness it, breathe through it, let it pass like a cloud in the sky. This is not suppression. You're not denying your emotions. You're honoring them by giving them space, but not power. Think of your mind like a room with many guests. Some are loud, some are calm, some bring joy, others bring pain. You are not those guests. You are the host. You can choose which ones to interact with, which ones to thank and release, and which ones you simply let pass through. This practice is called non-attachment. It means learning to notice your thoughts without clinging to them. When you get good at this, your emotional reactions stop owning you. Someone may try to start drama, but you don't absorb it. A triggering situation may unfold, but you stay rooted in calm. The world may continue to spin in chaos, but your inner world becomes like a quiet temple. You can hear the noise, but it doesn't enter you. You become the eye of the storm. Still, quiet, untouched. Try this. The next time you feel a strong emotion rise up, pause. Don't react immediately. Close your eyes. Observe the feeling. Name it without judgment. This is anger. This is fear. This is sadness. Breathe. Let it float in your awareness. Don't feed it. Don't fight it. Just watch it. You'll be surprised how quickly it softens when you stop giving it fuel. And when you live this way, life becomes much lighter. You no longer carry the pain of every argument, the weight of every misunderstanding, or the poison of every insult. You see things for what they are, just passing experiences. Remember, you are the sky. Your thoughts and emotions are the weather. Let them come, let them go. But stay rooted in your sky-like awareness. When you learn to observe without absorbing, you don't become cold, you become free. And in that freedom, you discover a level of peace that no drama, no person, no situation can ever take from you. 5. Repetition is power. Train your mind like a muscle. Most people believe that peace is something you stumble into by accident, something that just happens when life finally becomes perfect. But Buddhism teaches the opposite. Peace is not an accident. It's a discipline, a practice, a mental habit built through repetition. Think of your mind like a muscle. If you never train it, it becomes weak. It reacts emotionally to every little problem. It panics under pressure. It gets distracted easily, anxious quickly, and defeated often. But when you train your mind daily, intentionally, it becomes sharp, strong, and unshakable. Just like the body grows stronger through exercise, the mind grows calmer through repetition. In Buddhist monasteries, monks don't just meditate once and call it a day. They return to the cushion over and over again, every single morning. Not because it's easy, but because they know consistency builds power. It's not what you do once that transforms your mind. It's what you do every day, even when you don't feel like it. So how do you train the mind through repetition? Start with small, consistent practices. Every morning, sit in silence for 5 minutes and follow your breath. Watch your thoughts come and go like passing cars without chasing any of them. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back to the breath, again and again. That act of returning is where the strength is built. Repeat calming affirmations. Read a few lines of wisdom daily. Reflect on impermanence every time you feel yourself clinging to outcomes. These may seem simple, but done consistently, they rewire your brain. They build new mental patterns that replace worry with presence, reactivity with stillness, chaos with clarity. It's not about perfection. Your mind will wander. You'll feel restless. You'll forget. That's okay. What matters most is that you return. Every time you come back to the present moment, every time you choose peace over panic, you lay another brick in the foundation of a calmer mind. And just like a muscle, the results build slowly but powerfully. Imagine this. One person practices calmness once a month whenever life gets hard. Another person practices mindfulness for 10 minutes every day. Who do you think will be more grounded when a storm hits? The one who trained for it. So don't wait until life is peaceful to start your practice. Practice now. In the noise, in the stress, in the struggle. That's where real strength is born. And soon, you'll notice a shift. Things that used to trigger you don't bother you as much. You'll pause before reacting. You'll find your breath in moments where you used to lose your mind. That's the result of mental training. That's what repetition gives you. Control, clarity, and calm. Remember, every time you return to stillness, you become more powerful. Every time you focus your mind, you move closer to freedom, and every small repeated step becomes part of a great transformation. So train your mind like a monk trains his breath, patiently, daily, and with love. Because when you do it enough times, peace won't be something you visit. It will be where you live. 6. Choose stillness over reaction. In a world that constantly provokes you, stillness is one of the rarest and most powerful responses you can choose. People will test your patience. Situations will challenge your expectations. Life will not always be fair, but what determines whether you suffer or stay strong is not what happens. It's how you respond. Most people live in a state of automatic reaction. Someone says something offensive and they snap back. A plan falls apart and they panic. Their mind immediately jumps into defense mode, arguing, overthinking, complaining, or attacking. This constant reactivity creates a storm inside them that never settles, and without realizing it, they become slaves to every external trigger. But Buddhism teaches something radically different, the power of non-reaction. The Buddha said, "You will not be punished for your anger. You will be punished by your anger." This means every time you let the world dictate your emotions, you hand over your peace. You give away your power. Stillness, on the other hand, is not weakness. It's not passivity. It's mastery. Imagine someone insults you, trying to provoke you. Your ego wants to fight back, to prove yourself, to win the moment. But instead, you pause. You take a breath. You observe your inner reaction without feeding it. You choose not to respond, not because you're afraid, but because you're above it. That stillness shakes people more than anger ever could. Because when you're calm, you're unpredictable, you're unshakable. You become the one who holds the power, not by force, but by self-control. And stillness isn't just about staying silent in conflict. It's a way of moving through life. Stillness is walking away from drama instead of fueling it. Stillness is listening to understand instead of speaking to defend. Stillness is taking a deep breath before reacting to bad news. Stillness is sitting with your discomfort instead of escaping it through distraction. Stillness is allowing things to unfold without trying to force them. But how do you choose stillness in a world that rewards loud reactions? You train for it. Like a warrior sharpens his sword, you sharpen your awareness. Through daily meditation, mindful breathing and reflection, you build the space between stimulus and response. In that space lies your true freedom, the ability to respond with wisdom instead of reflex. Here's the truth. You don't need to attend every argument you're invited to. You don't need to fix every misunderstanding. You don't need to explain yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. When you've found peace within, their chaos can no longer pull you out. Stillness is not the absence of emotion, it's the control of it. You might still feel anger, fear, or sadness, but you don't let those emotions drive your behavior. You acknowledge them and then choose your action with clarity. This is the path of the wise. Think of a candle in the wind. If the wind is too strong, the flame flickers, struggles, and eventually dies. But in stillness, protected, calm, the flame burns bright. Your inner flame is no different. If you constantly react, you'll burn out. But if you learn to stay centered, your inner light will guide you through anything. In moments of pressure, ask yourself, is reacting to this worth my peace? Will this matter tomorrow, next week, next year? Am I responding from ego or from awareness? When you choose stillness, you don't lose. You win in the deepest way. You rise above noise. You conserve your energy. You earn respect, not through fear, but through presence. People start to notice that you don't get dragged into negativity, that you remain calm when others lose control, that you lead with wisdom, not pride. This is not easy, but it is worth it, because a person who lives in stillness becomes untouchable, not because life gets easier, but because they become stronger. So next time life pokes you, pause, breathe. Remember that you are in control of your response. And when you choose stillness, you choose power, you choose freedom, you choose peace. 7. Compassion creates inner peace. You can meditate for hours. You can master silence, train your breath, and keep your mind focused like a laser. But if your heart is heavy with judgment, resentment, or hatred, true peace will still escape you. That's why in Buddhism, the highest form of inner mastery doesn't come just from discipline or stillness. It comes from compassion. Compassion, or metta in Buddhist teachings, is the intentional practice of extending loving kindness not just to those you like or agree with, but to everyone, including those who hurt you, disagree with you, or disturb your peace. This might sound difficult, and it is, but it is also one of the most liberating practices you will ever experience. Why? Because the more you judge others, the more judgment grows inside you. The more resentment you hold, the more it harms your own mind. Holding on to anger, even if it feels right, is like drinking poison and hoping the other person gets hurt. It never works. You don't need to forgive someone because they deserve it. You forgive because you deserve to be at peace. When you train your mind to choose compassion instead of reacting, you stop being controlled by other people's actions. You rise above the drama, the blame, and the emotional traps. You stop letting your peace depend on how others act and begin building a peace no one can steal. Let's take an example. Imagine someone lies about you or treats you with disrespect. The normal reaction is to feel angry, seek revenge, or cut them out. But Buddhist wisdom shows something deeply powerful. They are suffering too. A truly peaceful person has no need to harm others. People lie, hurt, manipulate, or gossip because they are in pain, because they feel lost, because they don't see their own suffering. And when you realize this, you stop taking their behavior personally. This doesn't mean you allow abuse. Compassion is not weakness. It is a kind of clarity. You can set boundaries with kindness. You can walk away from toxic situations without hatred. You can guard your peace without keeping bitterness. When you answer negativity with compassion, you change the energy of the moment. you become the place where anger ends, not where it spreads. And here's the beautiful truth. Compassion isn't only for others, it's meant for you as well. Many people carry shame, guilt, and self-hatred. They keep punishing themselves for the past. They replay memories they wish were different. But peace doesn't come from being flawless. It comes from forgiveness. When you forgive yourself with the same kindness you would give a friend, you release your mind from the prison of regret. Buddhist monks often begin meditation by sending kind thoughts to themselves. May I be safe. May I be joyful. May I be free from pain. Then they share those wishes with others. May all beings be joyful. May all beings be free from pain, even those who have harmed me. This isn't just imagination. It's training the heart to stay open in a world that often tries to close it. And here's the shift. The more compassion you give, the more peace you feel. Because you're no longer walking through life in a state of defense. You're not holding grudges, chasing revenge, or judging everyone you meet. You start to see people not as enemies or problems, but as human beings, each carrying their own struggles, their own stories, and their own pain. This shift creates a deep sense of peace within you. You no longer feel threatened by everything around you. You don't get upset so easily. You respond instead of reacting. You choose to understand instead of attack. You become like a mountain, steady, calm, and full of life. Even when storms arrive, you shine with peace because you've cleared the inner clutter that once stole your calm. So remember this: no meditation, no philosophy, and no spiritual path is complete without compassion. It's the bridge between your mind and your heart. It's the root of real wisdom. And it's the force that makes inner peace a way of living. Not only for you, but for everyone you meet. Choose compassion. Not because it's easy, but because it sets you free. Because it breaks the cycle of suffering. Because it helps you love without fear and live without hate. In a world filled with noise and division, be the one who brings warmth. Be the one who understands. Be the one who chooses love, even when it's hard. Because when you do, you discover the highest kind of strength. A peaceful heart. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever have. It can be your greatest enemy or your closest friend. And the difference depends on how you train it. Buddhist wisdom doesn't promise a life without problems. It doesn't say the world will grow calm just because you meditate. But it does show you how to stay calm in a world that often isn't. Through these 7 lessons, quieting your mind, letting go of control, staying present, watching without taking in negativity, repeating habits that create peace, choosing stillness and living with compassion. Slowly you build a mind that stays steady, a mind that doesn't panic when tested, a mind that doesn't get lost in chaos, a mind that becomes a light, not only for you, but for everyone around you. So don't stress, don't rush, don't let the world pull you away from your center. Just breathe, stay steady, return to this moment. And remember, peace isn't found in perfect situations. Peace is found in a trained mind. Train it each day. Care for it gently, and your life will change. Not because the world shifted, but because you did. Thank you for watching. May your mind stay calm. May your heart remain kind. And may you walk through life with the quiet strength of true peace.